Even though Eli's not here, you can still see what a nice, tightly knit group we are sometimes. A couple weeks ago, we went up to Door County for me to take my art class. And Wednesday night is the chef's night off at Bjorkland in the Lawrence Study Center. So we went up to Wild Tomato in Sister Bay, where we met Sage. But being the middle of summer, it was very crowded, so Sage said, "It'll be a half-hour wait. Let's sit over here." And there's like a tiki bar sort of area. And we sat on the benches to order our pizza. And there was one stool extra here next to me. My hope was for Philip and Sage to have time to talk. And a woman came and sat there, kind of middle-aged. She looked South Korean to me, very well, just beautiful, just a lovely, you could see she was just a really down-to-earth, lovely person. She and I began to talk, and she was there alone. She had lived in South Korea, and before that Germany, and before that Hawaii. And even though her family's in Hawaii and Texas and California, she was in Madison working where she lives now and works. She'd never been to Door County, and she just made it there that day. So finally I looked at her and I said, "Can I ask how old you are?" I said, "You look far too young to have done all these things in your life." She'd also traveled on her own for vacation to Singapore and Iceland, and she really had quite a resume of things she'd accomplished. She said, "Well, tomorrow I turn 40. I said, "Really?" She said, "Yep." So I slipped off my stool and went through the crowd to the front desk, and I said, "There's this really worthy woman that just happened to sit next to me, and turns out it's her birthday tomorrow. She's turning 40. Do you guys have like a sparkler or something that you give birthday people?" Well, they came and offered her choice of desserts. And she gave Sage the choice, and he chose cheesecake. So when they left, I said to Sage, "See if Papa will go to the car and get his travel banjo." We weren't parked all that close, but Phil was very eager and happy to go get his banjo. And he came back, and Sage, of course, knew all the staff people and said, "Could you guys put the music on hold, on pause?" And they did. And Philip stood up, and we all sang happy birthday to our new friend, who by then was fighting back the tears and just so happy. And when she sat down, she said, "This has been the best night." And she seemed to mean it like in a pretty significant way. And then she said, "Nobody's ever sung to me like that." And so we made this wonderful friend, and now I'm on Facebook with her. And as we left the restaurant, Philip and I was alone, walking toward the car, and Philip and Sage were behind me. And Sage came running up to me and he said, "Papa and I were just talking about you. We think you're a force to be reckoned with." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Just the way you're so good to new people, to strangers." And I thought, this is the fellow, the little boy that kind of chewed me out for talking to strangers when he was little. But it was just an example of how, just small things that we do in Christ can go a long way. Not only for that woman, but hopefully set a good example for Sage and maybe the people that were there. And then I got that extra blessing to know that that little bit of kindness had been a big thing for us all. And that's kind of the way we roll.